Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah, and I'm 42 years old. I live in a quiet suburban neighborhood with my husband, Alex, and my stepson, Ryan. Life here is mostly peaceful, but I often feel a sense of loneliness in my marriage. Alex, my husband, is a corporate lawyer, constantly busy with meetings, late nights, and endless deadlines. As much as I understand the demands of his work, it leaves little time for us, and sometimes, I feel like a mere spectator in my own life. There was a time when Alex and I were deeply connected, but somewhere along the way, the spark faded. Nights grew colder and quieter, and despite everything, I found myself longing for a warmth that I couldn't seem to find in our relationship. Before starting the story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more captivating tales. A few days later, while my husband, Alex, was out for another late-night meeting, I found myself once again alone at home. The house felt eerily quiet, and my thoughts consumed me as I reflected on the electrifying encounter I had with my stepson Ryan not long ago. I had missed the thrill of being desired, of feeling truly alive in a way that had long been absent from my life. In a desperate attempt to ease the tension that had been building within me, I decided to take a long, relaxing bath. I filled the tub with warm water and lit a few scented candles, allowing the soft glow and fragrant steam to envelop me. The soothing warmth of the water caressed my skin as I sank into the tub, but my mind drifted back to Ryan. The way his hands had explored my body, the passion in his kisses, the way he made me feel so alive. It was intoxicating, and the memory sent a rush of heat coursing through me. I closed my eyes, imagining his touch and the desire that had sparked between us. The warmth of the water mixed with the warmth in my core as I recalled the way he had looked at me, his gaze filled with longing. A part of me was terrified, but another part craved that thrill, that connection. I was drawn to him like a moth to a flame. Suddenly, I heard a soft knock at the bathroom door. My heart raced as I quickly sat up, water sloshing around me. "Who is it?" I called, trying to sound nonchalant. "It's me, Ryan," he replied, his voice smooth and inviting. I felt a thrill run through me at the sound of his voice. "What do you want?" I asked, keeping my tone light despite the excitement bubbling within me. "I wanted to check on you." "You've been in here a while," he said, and I could hear the concern mixed with something else. Something that made my heart race even faster. "I'm fine, just taking a bath," I replied, my cheeks flushing at the thought of him standing outside the door. There was a moment of silence before he spoke again. "Can I come in? I just want to see you." Before I could respond, he opened the door, stepping inside with a confident stride. My breath caught in my throat as I took in his appearance. His tousled hair, the fitted t-shirt clinging to his chest, and those piercing blue eyes that seemed to see right through me. "I thought you might want some company," he said, his gaze drifting to the candles flickering around the room. I don't know if that's a good idea," I stammered, my heart racing as I tried to sound composed. "Come on, we're alone." "Just for a little while," he urged, taking a step closer. I could feel the heat radiating from him, and the tension in the air thickened. The longing that had built up within me over the past few days flared back to life, igniting a fire I couldn't ignore. I could already feel the weight of his desire, and it made my pulse quicken. "Okay," I finally whispered, surprising myself with my own boldness. "But just for a little while." As he stepped closer, I could see the way his gaze drifted down to the water. "I can't help but wonder what it would feel like to join you in there," he said, his voice low and teasing. I swallowed hard, my heart pounding as I imagined just that. "What if Alex comes home?" I asked, trying to sound practical but secretly wanting him to disregard my concern. "Then we'll just have to be quiet," he suggested, his smirk widening as he leaned even closer, the warmth of his body radiating against my skin. Before I could respond, he reached out, his fingers grazing my arm, sending shivers down my spine. "Please, just let me in," he said, his voice laced with longing. I hesitated, but the thrill of his touch was too much to resist. "Fine," I murmured, my voice shaky. "But just for a moment." Without another word, Ryan stood up, shedding his t-shirt and stepping into the tub beside me, the warm water swirling around us as our bodies drew closer. The intimate setting heightened the electricity in the air, and I felt the world outside fade away. Our gazes locked as the water splashed around us, his body inches from mine. "This feels nice," he said softly, his fingers brushing against my thigh, igniting a fire within me. "It does," I replied, my breath hitching as he moved closer, our bodies now mere inches apart. In that moment, the tension broke, and he leaned in, capturing my lips with his. The kiss was soft at first, a gentle exploration of unspoken desire, but it quickly deepened as passion surged between us. My hands found their way to his shoulders, pulling him closer as I melted against him. The warmth of the water enveloped us as our kisses became more urgent, a dance of longing and desire. I could feel his hands roaming over my back, then my chest, and he pressed my chest and start kissing there, igniting sensations I had long forgotten. The intoxicating thrill of being so close to him was almost overwhelming, and I surrendered to it completely. "Ryan," I gasped between kisses, the heat between us growing stronger. "Shoo," he whispered, his lips trailing down my neck, sending shivers through my body. "Just enjoy this." I closed my eyes, losing myself in the sensations he was creating. Every kiss, every touch felt like fire, awakening something deep within me. My fingers tangled in his hair as he pulled me closer, our bodies fitting together as though we were made for this moment. With each kiss, the world outside faded completely, leaving only the two of us tangled together in the warm water. My heart raced as his hands explored my body, trailing down my arms and back up to my face, holding me tenderly as our kisses grew more passionate. "God, I've wanted this for so long," he breathed, his lips brushing against mine before deepening the kiss again. "Me too," I admitted, feeling vulnerable yet exhilarated. I also hold his tool, which makes him feel so good, and he take body shower in his hand, then slowly start applying it to my whole body, and his hands slowly go down towards my hips, the water sloshing around us, heightening the sensations. Suddenly, a loud noise broke through the moment, and we both froze. I heard the unmistakable sound of the front door opening, and my heart dropped. "Alex," I whispered, panic flooding my senses. Ryan quickly pulled away, his eyes wide as we both scrambled to get our bearings. "What do we do?" he asked, his voice tense with urgency. "Hide," I hissed, motioning toward the shower curtain. We quickly shifted, both of us ducking behind the curtain, our hearts racing as we held our breath, praying Alex wouldn't come into the bathroom. I could hear the sound of him moving through the house, calling out, "Rebecca, are you here?" The tension was unbearable as we stood there, huddled together, feeling the heat radiating off each other. My heart raced not only from fear but also from the excitement of what had just happened. I could feel Ryan's warm breath on my neck, and the adrenaline coursed through my veins. Alex stepped into the bathroom, and I squeezed my eyes shut, hoping we wouldn't get caught. He began to wash his hands at the sink, completely unaware of the chaos happening behind the curtain. After what felt like an eternity, Alex finished and left the bathroom, the door clicking shut behind him. Ryan and I shared a relieved glance, our hearts still pounding from the close call. "Wow, that was close," Ryan whispered, his voice still thick with excitement. "I can't believe we just did that," I replied, feeling a rush of adrenaline mixed with desire. "Do you want to continue?" he asked, his gaze intense, filled with longing. I hesitated, knowing the risks involved but also feeling the undeniable pull toward him. "Yes," I whispered, my voice barely audible. We stepped out from behind the curtain, our eyes locked, the tension crackling in the air. I took a step toward him, my heart racing as I reached out, pulling him into another kiss. As our lips met again, I felt a thrill of excitement. This time, it was different. It was no longer just a secret. It was a connection, a passion that couldn't be denied. And I was ready to embrace it, no matter the consequences. In that moment, I knew I was willing to risk it all for the thrill of being with him. Our lips melded together, and I surrendered completely to the fire igniting between us, ready for whatever came next. A few days later. It was late afternoon, and the sun streamed through the kitchen window as I prepared dinner. The scent of sautéed vegetables filled the air, a stark contrast to the lingering excitement from our last encounter. I found myself daydreaming, recalling every touch and kiss, the way Ryan had made me feel so alive. As I stirred the pot on the stove, I heard the front door creak open, followed by the familiar sound of Ryan's footsteps. My heart skipped a beat as he walked into the kitchen, a playful smile on his face. "Hey, what smells so good?" he asked, leaning against the counter. "Just making some dinner," I replied, trying to keep my composure. "How was your day?" Long and boring, he said, his eyes glinting with mischief. But it's better now that I'm here. Really? I asked, curiosity piqued. What do you mean? He stepped closer, his presence warming the already cozy kitchen. I mean, being here with you always makes my day better, he said, his voice low and inviting. The way he looked at me sent butterflies fluttering in my stomach, igniting a spark that had me remembering our stolen moments together. I turned back to the stove, trying to appear busy, but my heart raced. You're just saying that, I replied, attempting to deflect the intensity of his gaze. No, I'm serious, he insisted, moving even closer until he was just behind me. I can't stop thinking about you. About us. His words sent a thrill through me, and I couldn't help but steal a glance over my shoulder at him. Ryan, we can't keep doing this. It's complicated. He leaned in, resting his chin on my shoulder, the heat of his body radiating against my back. Why not? We both want this, don't we? I closed my eyes for a brief moment, savoring the sensation of his warmth, the intoxicating smell of his cologne, and the undeniable chemistry that crackled in the air between us. I do want it, I admitted, my voice barely above a whisper. But it's dangerous. Sometimes the best things in life come with a little danger, he murmured, his lips brushing against my ear, sending shivers down my spine. Let's just enjoy it while we can. I took a deep breath, my heart pounding as I considered his words. He was right. I had been longing for this connection, this spark of passion that made me feel alive again. My heart raced with desire, and I felt myself yielding to his allure. Okay, I whispered, turning around to face him fully. The air thickened with anticipation as I searched his eyes, filled with a mix of hope and longing. Just for tonight. A triumphant smile spread across his face, and before I could second-guess myself, he took my hand, leading me out of the kitchen and down the hallway to my bedroom. The thrill of being caught danced at the back of my mind, but the allure of the moment overpowered my hesitation. Once inside my room, he closed the door behind us, locking it softly. The atmosphere shifted instantly, the energy palpable as he turned to face me, his expression serious yet hungry. I've thought about this moment for days, he said, stepping closer, his fingers brushing against my arm. I put my hands inside his pant and try to turn him on so that he can fulfill my desires and don't stop. The distance between us vanished as he wrapped his arms around my waist, pulling me closer until our bodies were pressed together. Without another word, his lips found mine, and I melted into him, my hands goes inside his shirt as our kisses deepened. The world outside ceased to exist, leaving only the two of us tangled in our passion. Every kiss ignited a fire within me, a desire that had been simmering just beneath the surface. As our kisses grew more fervent, he began to explore my body with his hands, his touch igniting every nerve ending. I gasped against his mouth as he caressed my back, drawing me closer until I could feel his heartbeat against my chest. God, you're beautiful, he whispered between kisses, his hands finding the hem of my shirt. I can't get enough of you. Ryan, I breathed, the thrill of his touch sending waves of heat coursing through me. We really shouldn't. Just let it happen, he urged, his voice husky with desire. Let's forget about everything else, just for tonight. In one swift motion, he lifted my shirt over my head, his gaze roaming over my body with unabashed admiration. I felt a rush of vulnerability mixed with excitement as I stood before him, exposed and beautiful in his eyes. With a soft gasp, I felt his lips against my skin, trailing kisses down my collarbone, each touch igniting a fire within me. My hands roamed over his back, feeling the muscles beneath his shirt, longing to touch every part of him. With that, he captured my lips again, his hands moving to my back to unfasten my bra. The feeling of the straps slipping away sent another rush of heat through me as he pushed the fabric aside, his fingers brushing against my skin. He broke the kiss to look at me, his expression filled with awe. You're incredible, he murmured, his eyes filled with desire. I want you, I confessed, feeling bold and reckless in that moment. Then let's make this unforgettable, he said, his voice thick with longing as he kissed me again, this time more passionately, exploring every inch of my mouth. As our bodies tangled together, the world outside faded away completely. I lost myself in him, our kisses growing more fervent as he pressed me against the wall, his hands exploring my body as if he were discovering every part of me for the first time. Time lost all meaning as we surrendered to our desires, the thrill of being together pushing us both over the edge. I felt alive, desired, and utterly consumed by the connection we shared. Eventually, he pulled back breathless, and took my hand, leading me to the bed. "Are you ready?" he asked, his eyes dark with longing. "Yes," I whispered, my heart racing with anticipation. We collapsed onto the bed together, our bodies entwined, and the thrill of what we were doing surged through me. It was a dance of passion and desire, a moment that felt both forbidden and exhilarating. As we lost ourselves in each other, I knew that this was only the beginning of our passionate adventure, a thrilling secret that would change everything between us. And I was ready to embrace it fully, no matter where it led us. Days turned into weeks, and our encounters became more frequent. Each moment we stole together was like a breath of fresh air, a brief escape from reality. We found solace in the stolen glances, the quiet touches, and the passionate kisses that left us both breathless. One evening, after a particularly thrilling rendezvous, we lay entwined in bed, the soft glow of the moonlight filtering through the curtains. I traced my fingers along Ryan's chest, feeling the warmth radiating from him. "What are we doing?" I asked, breaking the comfortable silence. The question hung in the air, heavy with implications. "Living," he replied, his voice steady. "For the first time in a long time." I smiled at his answer, but uncertainty gnawed at the edges of my happiness. "But what happens when someone finds out?" "Then we deal with it," he said, lifting my chin to meet his gaze. "I'm not afraid of what this is. I want you." His words sent a rush of heat through me, but I couldn't shake the feeling of impending danger. "I want you too," I admitted, feeling the weight of my feelings for him. "But this isn't just fun for me. It means something." He nodded, his expression serious. "It means something to me too. But we can't let fear hold us back. We deserve to be happy." The sincerity in his voice melted my worries, and I leaned in, capturing his lips in a heated kiss. The intensity of our connection swelled, and I lost myself in the moment, forgetting all my doubts. As we kissed, I felt a sense of liberation. We were writing our own story, one filled with passion, desire, and the thrill of the forbidden. I knew that whatever came next, I wanted to face it with him by my side. And as I lay in his arms, I felt a sense of peace, knowing that we were embracing something beautiful and rare. Whatever challenges awaited us, I was ready to take them on, together.